Hey PJs, welcome back to another video. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe down below to become part of my PJ squad, which is always awesome. And as always, comment down below what you guys would like to see next, or if you just want to hop down there and say hello, I'll be answering as many comments as I can. So today I'm reviewing a package from Retro Slime Company. I had to turn my filming sideways, so you are seeing a different angle of my filming table, or I guess my desk, because this package is housing 10 slimes, so the box was huge. Don't worry, once I start reviewing the slimes, my setup does go back to normal, but I did want to give a huge thank you to Retro Slime Company for sending this package. And if any of you guys have been thinking about buying from them or want to, I will leave a link to their shop down below in the description, along with the code PJSlimes for you guys to use for 10% off. Everything in the package was nicely secured, so nothing cracked or leaked, and for the extras they sent their business card, which looks like a retro postcard, which is amazing, a bottle cap, and this 1 ounce mini slime, which I did have trouble opening, so I kind of flicked it, and I don't know why, but I did. And spoiler alert, this slime that I got was one of the ones that I actually got in my package, so I didn't open this, but it is adorable. And they also sent their retro overflow containers, which is nice, and their fixers, which are essentially superheroes that are slime activator and slime softener. Most of their slimes come in these mason jar inspired containers with their shop logo on the top and the slime name and label on the side. And I say most because 2 of the slimes that I got come in their own special containers. This first slime is Strawberry Shortcake. It is a light pink, thick and glossy slime, scented just like the Strawberry Shortcake doll, and it comes with various strawberry themed sprinkles and female slices, plus a Firmosoft charm that they make themselves. This slime was inspired by the real Strawberry Shortcake doll and the series behind it, and I used to watch this as a kid, so it was a real nostalgia hit for me. And I'm not gonna lie, in between filming this, I was singing the Strawberry Shortcake theme song, and it kind of got stuck in my head for the rest of the filming. One of the many reasons I love Retro Slime Company is how generous they are with their add-ins. The packets that they send with female slices and sprinkles and all that good stuff is just full to the top, and especially with slimes like this one where it has more of a smooth base to it. There are so many sprinkles in here, it just slightly changes the way the slime feels and stretches and definitely gives it a lot more bubble pops. And going off of that, this slime has a lot of bubble pops. I didn't even have to stretch this, and somehow I was getting bubble pops out of it. This was so thick but so stretchy at the same time. Normally you get one or the other, but this one hardly ever ripped or anything. It was mind-blowing. I don't know what they're doing with their thick slimes, but somehow they're making it work, and I love that. I'm also loving their thick and glossy textures. They're super smooth and stretchy and really glossy when they start out, and when they start inflating, the bubble pops are honestly endless. Like I said at the beginning, this is scented like the Strawberry Shortcake doll. I don't know if any of you guys ever had it or remember it, but there was a doll that came with the series that they created, and it was actually scented, and that was like the biggest thing of its time because I think it was the first scented doll. I don't even know if like a lot of people make them anymore or just scented dolls in general, and I don't remember if I had one or it was somebody that I knew, but this slime does smell exactly like it. And for those of you who don't know what it smells like, the best way to describe it is like if you took the real strawberry scent and made it artificial, and there's like no other way to describe it. It smells so real but so sweet at the same time that it doesn't smell real, and that's like the best way I could describe it. It is really weird. And I don't know what it is, but something about this one is super addicting. I could not stop playing with it even after I got done filming. So this one, without a doubt, gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. Next up is Dancing Bears, which is a clear jelly that comes with multicolored glitters, firm and soft gummy bear charms, and there are a lot of them, and it is scented like gummy bears. And I did flip the slime around because first off, thumbnails, super important, and second off, just so you guys could see how many charms there are, because they were super generous with this one. I didn't count how many, but there are a lot of them, and they are adorable. This slime was inspired by Haribo gummy bears. I don't know personally if they're my favorite brand for gummy bears, but regardless, they are pretty delicious, and if you haven't tried them, I definitely recommend it because they are really juicy and nice. Anyways, back to the slime. It did come slightly melted, as did I think all of them, so I did activate them as I go. I'm just not going to repeat it for every single slime, but it is perfectly normal, especially during summer. But like I said at the beginning, this is a jelly slime. I don't really know if it's what they used for the instant snow or maybe the base, but to me it feels more like a half jelly. It doesn't really inflate like normal jellies do, and it doesn't really feel like one. Definitely feels like it's lacking some of the instant snow, but honestly, jelly slimes are kind of like any other slime that has instant snow in it. It's really up to each slime shop to make what texture they think is appropriate. Regardless though, I loved this texture. It was slightly tacky. Again, I don't know if that was the instant snow or what it was, but besides that, I did love this one, especially how thick it was, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. This slime is scented like gummy bears. I'm not sure exactly how close to gummy bears it smells. This is one of their scratch and sniff slimes, which I forgot to mention, and it does really kind of smell like the label they have on it when you scratch it, so that is really nice. To me, it smells like really sweet gummy candy, kind of artificial, but to be honest, what about gummy bears isn't artificial? I also find the scent to be pretty strong, but in my personal opinion, I love when they're like that because then it like fills the whole room, especially when it's such a delicious scent. Definitely a bonus. I'm going to give this slime 4.7 out of 5 pajamas just because of the slight tackiness. Again, I don't really know what it was from, but it was definitely there. Next up is Lime Inte Coconut, which is a Snow Fizz base that is white, and it comes with a lime green sugar scrub topping that you get to add, plus some lime Fimo slices, and it is scented like lime and coconut. This slime was inspired by a song called Coconut, which came out in 1971, and it became a hit with a lot of people because it had really easy to remember lyrics that were very repetitive. The base to this one is definitely the type that freaks me out because it looks like real coconut shavings and it smells like coconut, and I'm telling you guys, I could swear that it had real coconut shavings in it because that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like if you added coconut shavings to a slime. While I'm putting this slime together, I just want to take a second to appreciate Retro Slime Company's packaging. Everything that comes with a specific slime is always labeled that way. When you add things to a slime, you don't get confused of what goes with what slime, and I think that is super helpful, especially with bigger orders. And like the strawberry shortcake slime, they were super generous with the Fimo slices. To my surprise, the little 1 ounce sugar scrub slime that you get to add to the top actually changed the texture, and in my personal opinion, I don't like the ending texture more than the base, but I think that's honestly just because I like when I'm weirded out by slimes, so the fact that it felt like real coconut shavings just kind of struck my heart, and I got attached to it, so when it kind of became more poofy and sizzly and less dense, it broke my heart a little bit, but I honestly think it's for the better because it was absolutely beautiful when mixed together. I love the resulting color of this one. When mixed together, to me it looks like if you poured lime juice on coconut shavings. And because of all the Fimo slices added, no matter which way I stretched or pulled this one, it always had a ton on the surface, which I thought was amazing. I also quite enjoyed the scent. It was scented like lime and coconut, so super tropical. And the scent was also super on point to its scratch and sniff label. This slime did become quite tacky and had a lot of residue, but I was completely unsure if that was because I activated and inflated it, so I did let it sit for a day, and it pretty much did fix itself. And honestly, I think for the most part snow fizzes kind of come tacky anyways. I'm not really sure why, but that's like my experience with most of them. I felt that this one had a very unique texture compared to other snow fizzes that I've felt, so I think that it gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. And next we have sliced bread, which is a tan butter slime scented like French baguette, and once again this is also a scratch and sniff slime. It also comes with a Firmasoft butter charm, which I'm going to call Lil Butt. This slime was inspired by Wonder Bread, which is the iconic company that started selling sliced bread in stores, and I even remember as a kid getting that specific brand because it was very colorful and it had dots all over it. And I remember seeing this meme about what people did before sliced bread, where this guy had like a whole loaf of bread on the bottom and then his cheese or whatever in the middle and then a whole another loaf on the top. I just remember it being so hilarious. But anyways, as you can see on the screen, Little Butt did not want to stay in the slime. Their Firmasoft charms don't really stay in the slime very well, and I personally enjoy that because then I don't have to scrape a ton of slime off of it when I want it to be on the top to make like more of an aesthetic look or whatever. And honestly, if you haven't tried their slimes, get one with a charm because their charms are super soft and firm at the same time. Obviously, that's what the name is for, and they feel amazing. Back to the slime, this one was incredible. I loved everything about it. First off, to me, it felt like a bread slime, if you guys remember those. It was kind of a trend that occurred maybe a year and a half ago, and it was honestly one of my favorite textures. I think now it's more commonly known as a snow butter, but not a lot of people make them anymore, and this is classified as a butter, and it feels like one, and I'm assuming it doesn't have any instant snow in it, but it definitely feels like it, which I like because it gives it more of that bread feel and aspect to it. I also love the scent. You guys know that when something hits my nose and it's a weird scent, I automatically love it. So this one to me smells like yeast, not like the alcohol kind of yeast, but more like the pure stuff that you add to something before you make like biscuits or bread or whatever. Definitely brings me back to my childhood when my mom used to bake all the time. It was one of my favorite scents. I love how inflatable and soft this one gets. It definitely feels like bread to me. And of course, it is getting 5 out of 5 pajamas. And lastly for this video, we have Apple Pandodi, which is a tan foam slime that comes with some jelly cubes and apple female slices, and it comes in the cutest container I have ever seen. And I believe this one was also inspired by a song. Definitely correct me if I'm wrong. But regardless, first of all, look at this container. But it's got to be my favorite container I have ever seen by far because it is just so darn cute. And to my surprise, the lid shuts perfectly, so the slime definitely is not drying out. I am also in love with this texture. It is a thick slime, kind of like the first one, but in its own way. I love when certain textures will feel completely different from one slime to the next. That way you don't get bored if you happen to buy more than one of the same texture, if that makes sense. And this one is definitely a lot thicker, plus the fact that there's so many different sized foam beads in here, it gives it an amazing crunch. And squishing jelly cubes is super satisfying. If the container wasn't realistic enough, the add-ins to this one are also super realistic, and it definitely reminds me of a really delicious apple dessert. And I know this might be controversial, but no, I'm not talking about gross apple pie. I'm talking about apple crisp. I don't know if it's just a Midwesterner thing, but if you haven't tried it, look up a recipe and try it. It is amazing. And speaking of which, this slime smells exactly like it. I smell cinnamon and oatmeal and apples and all that warm goodness that comes with that dessert, and I love it. It smells like fall and it is really getting me excited. I'm also adoring the texture when this inflates because there's really no other way to describe it except it gets really soft, and I don't know what's going on because normally thick slimes just get really bubble pop-y and stay super thick, but this one became light and almost fluffy and airy, kind of like a butter slime. It is weird. Everything about this one, including the scent, seems so complex, and I love that because there was definitely a lot of time and effort put into this one. And if you're thinking about buying and have no idea what to choose, I'm telling you, this is the one. And you guys already know, this one gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. But with that, that is the end of this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely stay tuned for part 2 because I will be showing the other 5 slimes that are just as amazing as these. And don't forget to use code PJSlimes at checkout for 10% off. I will leave the link to their shop in the description. Also, let me know which slime was your favorite. But besides that, I am signing off, and I will see you guys in the next one.